Hi guys, my name is Michelle Fondin and I'm an author and speaker. First of all, I wanted to say to you guys, Happy New Year. I know it's January 26th and it's not exactly the new year, but it's still kind of new-ish. So I wanted to touch base with you guys because you're probably wondering, like, where the heck has she been? And so that's what this video is about. It's about my updates, what's been going on in the past few weeks. Since September, I've been filming and uploading videos about 3 to 4 times a week, and you've probably noticed this trend if you've been consistently watching my videos. And then all of a sudden, toward the new year, I just kind of dropped off into the abyss. I think I've published 1 video this month, and I just wanted to explain why to you guys. I'm not going away. In fact, I have great things planned for the month of February and on. As far as videos go, as far as video creation goes, I have a bunch of videos that are upcoming in the queue that need to be filmed, edited, and posted on YouTube. So I'm super excited about that. But what I have been doing is I've been writing and finishing a book that has been a project ongoing for about 2 years, and I'll post the book cover up here. You can see it. I have 2 books upcoming. So I have the one called Enlightened Medicine, which you just saw, and that one has been ongoing for about 2 years. It was coming toward the end of the editing process. The editing process was really, really complicated. It's a book on integrative medicine, so kind of meet where West meets East and helping people overcome chronic illness. And it was so hard to write, really hard to edit, super hard to fact check because it's a medical type based book, and a lot of people will take this as medical advice even though you're not supposed to, but I know people will. And so I really wanted it to be fact checked, re-fact checked, have a lot of supporting evidence about this book, and it was really difficult. Now this book I'm self-publishing, so in addition to editing, I had an editor working with me, which was absolutely great. But I still had to re-edit the edits because a lot of it was stuff that I needed to add into the book, and the editor can't do that for me. And then it came to the proofreading phase and audio recording phase and formatting phase. And if you don't know what formatting is, if you're not an author or you don't quite know about the publishing world, formatting is putting the book into a pretty template, but it's not just drag and drop. You have to format that template and just make it look nice, so aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and make sure that the headers are there and the page numbers are correct and the chapter titles are correct. And so you just have to go through all of that. It takes tons and tons and tons of time. And then recording the audiobook, editing the recording of the audiobook takes a whole bunch of time. And so that part of the project took me away from filming videos for you guys, posting videos for you guys, and of course I always have to edit the videos a little bit because nothing is ever perfect, and even the videos that are posted aren't perfect. But in conjunction with that book, Enlightened Medicine, and I'll post the book cover for this one, I have a book coming out with New World Library. It's my 2nd book with New World Library. This one is called Chakra Healing for Vibrant Energy. Now this book project has taken about a year and some change. So I started writing this book in January 2017. It was accepted by my publisher around March or April of last year, but it always takes about a year to publish a book through a traditional publisher. But at the same time, I was editing and writing and re-editing my other book. All of the edits came back for the chakra healing book as well at the exact same time. So I was editing 2 books at the same time, which was totally insane, and recording the audiobooks for 2 books at the exact same time, which was over the top insane. So as you can imagine, for the past 4 to 8 weeks, I've been going out of my mind with just complete work. My life is out of balance. I'm not having fun in the traditional sense of fun. Of course it's fun. I love what I do, and I love doing videos for you guys. I love writing my books. I love getting the word out there about healthy living and meditation and yoga and Ayurveda and all those healthy practices, but it's still work. So even if you love it, it's still work. So I haven't really taken a lot of time to do hobbies and fun things that I should be doing to counterbalance the work part. But I know it's coming to a close, meaning that these projects are finishing. The chakra healing book, I really just need to edit the audio. I need to do a bunch of videos, which I'm doing videos that's going to be for you guys too, on yoga poses and pranayama breathing techniques for each of the chakras. So I'll be doing that. And then I will be focusing my efforts on doing YouTube videos for you guys pretty much for the rest of the year. I have it in my plans to publish one other book by the end of the year. I don't know if that'll actually happen. I'm gonna keep that top secret because I've worked so hard on these two books that it's not only writing the books, but it's also doing marketing for the books. It's getting the word out there. It's contacting magazines and radio stations and TV stations and journals and blogs and vlogs and things like that. So it really does take a lot of effort to promote those books as well, just to get the word out and get people buying the books. Because if you publish a book but no one reads it, then you really haven't done much because you've accomplished great things, but you really want readers. So that's what I have been doing, and it's been totally crazy and insane. And it felt really good today to take out the camera. I was so excited when I took out the camera today because I was like, oh my gosh, I miss you guys. I really miss you. And I want to thank all the subscribers that have recently come on board and have come on board in the past month. I want you to know that that is not my usual trend. I do not go 3 to 4 weeks without posting videos. It's just not what I do. I made the decision last July, so July of 2017, I made the decision to make a commitment to my YouTube channel and to make a commitment to you guys and to teach you about healthy living and to talk about my books, about what I write, but also give you sound advice and sound opinion about what's going on, whether you have someone in your life who drinks too much or you're an alcoholic or addict yourself in recovery, or whether you want to learn more about Ayurveda, whether you want to learn more about yoga and healthy living, or meditation and spirituality. And so the penchant of my videos are definitely going to go more toward not only healthy living, but also more toward a more spiritual awakening, more about manifestation, intention and desire, creating the life that you would like to create for yourself. One thing that I started last year too is I really want to infuse more travel locations in order to talk about these things. So we don't have to always sit in my office where we are right now. We don't have to sit in my office and explore these topics together, but we can be out and about around town, at a park, in nature, and really talk about these issues and discuss these issues. And thank you so much in addition for leaving comments in telling me your stories. I get emails all the time. I get Facebook posts all the time in private messaging. And I really enjoy hearing your stories because it really touches my heart. It touches my heart that I can touch you, whether you're living in the United States, in Canada, and Mexico, and South America, and Australia, and England. I get a lot of viewers in the UK and Australia. Thank you so much for watching. I get a lot of viewers from India. Thank you if you're from India and you're watching. But I also get a lot of viewers in the United States. But I love hearing from you. And I understand that I don't always have the answers, and I really don't have the answers. And that's one thing that I think people have a common misconception about anyone giving advice. I don't really give advice. I give my opinion and I give a little bit of educational information. But when people are giving advice on YouTube, I think people that are watching, they tend to take that as sacred, and just know that I'm not an expert really in anything. I know a lot about a lot of things, and I know a lot about a few things that in particular, Ayurveda, yoga, meditation, spirituality, alcoholism, recovery. There are a few things that I've really put my major focus on, and integrative medicine, of course, you'll see in the upcoming book. But, you know, I'm not an expert, so you can't look at the things that I say as the word, like the word of God, because it's not. Don't have those high expectations of what I offer to you. When you hold me to that kind of standard, it's just not fair. It's not fair that I have this, you know, this view of this standard of this information that I'm giving you is like way up here, and that if there's a flaw in it that you find, or if there's something inconsistent that you find with what you've read or whatever, I'm just a human being. I do my research, and I do a lot of research for these videos too. I've studied Ayurveda extensively. I have tons more to learn in Ayurveda. But a lot of times people get caught up in the really small details. So they're always looking for those flaws, or they're looking for those inconsistencies. And what I tell you is that, you know, if I'm presenting a topic to you, if I'm presenting an educational video to you, and there's something that you get out of it, great. And if I'm presenting that same topic and you get nothing out of it, then there are tons of other videos on YouTube. There are a lot more books you could read. And obviously you can get your information elsewhere. So it doesn't have to be from here. So I'm just doing the best that I can, and my inner intention is to help you in any way that I can within the realm of my areas of expertise, you know, health, wellness, integrative medicine, anything that I named above. So just to let you know that, I'm here as your friend. I'm here as your guide. It's really kind of like a guide. You know, when you go on a tour of a new city, if you take a tour and you have a tour guide, you know, you go to Washington, D.C., you go to New York City, and you have a tour guide, and that tour guide has a certain amount of information about the buildings, the architecture, when the city was built, the founders of that city, the history. So they have a set amount of information. So as you're going through the city, you can learn about that specific city and the architecture and the historical buildings and the people that founded the city. So you have a basis of information, but that doesn't mean that that person knows everything about the city. It's impossible to know everything about a given topic. So it's the same way. I'm your guide. I'm your tour guide to integrative health. I'm your tour guide to Ayurveda, yoga, and meditation. I'm your tour guide into spirituality. I'm your tour guide into alcoholism and addiction recovery. So that's it. Like I'm just like you are. I put myself out there. And honestly, if you want to criticize up and down, or if you want to praise up and down, you know, I love the praise. I think it's great. Thank you so much. And of course, it's encouraging. It's encouraging that when you give me some positive feedback, it's really encouraging that I feel like, okay, I'm actually on the right track, so that when I do future videos, I know which ones are on the right track. But if on the other hand, you find a single fault, or you want to debate with me about a single point that you think is totally different from something that I presented, that's not my role. My role isn't to defend myself. My role isn't to argue with you. I don't find that role. There was one time in my life that may have been attractive to me, and that's just no longer attractive to me. It's like that part of my life I've completely let go. I have no reason to debate with people. I just have no reason to. It's like I have my set of values, beliefs. I'm willing to be educated. I'm willing to expand my knowledge always. I'm willing to move towards self-improvement always. But I'm not in a mind space where I'm going to try to prove you wrong. And I'm not in a mind space where I really need to defend myself. And if there is some stark misinformation, like for example, if I said something like high blood pressure contributes to cancer, which is clearly not exactly the case, and medical studies wouldn't find that high blood pressure is directly linked to cancer. It's directly linked to heart disease. If I give like a stark factual misinformation, then yeah, I don't mind if you call me on it, because if you find the source that counters what I just said, that's a scientific source and it's a documented research source, then yeah, I mean, definitely call me out on it. But if it's just something, you know, matter of opinion, or if it's just like, you know, I heard that kapha types should never eat gluten, and it's just like, okay, you know, there was never this thing called gluten intolerance 5,000 years ago in Ayurveda. It's, you know, it's just like they saw things at a very basic level. So it was like the 5 elements and the 6 tastes, and that's what they did their basis on, balancing the doshas. So it's not about these nitpicky little things. It's really about seeing the bigger picture and using information simplistically to help you get healthy and better. I just want to let you know that I have not left you. I'm right here. I love you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. I really, really appreciate you guys, and I really appreciate all of you who have subscribed on Patreon and have contributed on Patreon. I so appreciate your pledge on Patreon. It helps me to continue to do what I am doing here on YouTube. I don't know if you heard, but YouTube has recently changed their standards for getting money on YouTube. And now, granted, if you do not have 1 million subscribers or more, you really don't make money on YouTube. I mean, I think in the past year, I've maybe made $30 to $50 on YouTube. So it's very, very, very low. It doesn't matter how many views you have. It really matters like how many subscribers and views you have in conjunction with each other. So I think now they've upped the ante to you have to have 1,000 subscribers, and I think it's 4,000 hours of views. It's a lot. It's 4,000 hours of views over the course of a year before you can actually get 1 penny do a sponsorship on a YouTube video. So it's crazy. They really upped it. So it's not through YouTube that I would make any money right now, at least. I'm not saying for the future that I wouldn't, but for right now I won't. And so really Patreon is the only way that I can keep these videos going and buy a new camera. For example, I need to buy a new camera because I'm gonna be doing these yoga videos and I need a wide angle lens DSLR camera in order to film these yoga videos. So it's just things like that. You know, it's the lighting, it's the camera, it's the time, it's the editing software. So there's a lot of different things that go into YouTube videos. So if you are a supporter on Patreon, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And you will see more of me to come. So I promise you, all throughout the month of February, March, April, May, there might be a lapse in the month of July just because my plan is to move to Southern California in the month of July. So there might be a lot going on there. So there might not be as many videos. But after that, it'll pick up once again. But look for plenty of videos in the upcoming months. I'll be finished with my book by next week. So excited. And thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel below. Share this video with friends, family, and your dog. Support me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/Michelle S. Fondin. And I will see you in the next video.